Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. At the outset, I do welcome this bill and I pay tribute to everyone who has campaigned on this issue, but most importantly, the women who have campaigned for justice. I want to thank the Scottish Government for listening and also for acting. I also want to congratulate the members of the Health, Social Care and Sport Committee for their excellent Stage 1 report. They've captured the bill well and the recommendations are very much welcome. I've dealt with 3 constituents who have had mesh complications. Every one of these ladies had their lives adversely affected in many ways. I've had a great deal of correspondence with the Scottish Government on behalf of one lady in particular. She's called Michelle and I have permission to highlight her today. This bill offers a great deal of hope for Michelle and many other women. The physical pain and mental challenges that these women are living with daily cannot be imagined. Added to that is the loss of trust in our NHS services, as referenced throughout the report. And it's no wonder that many women look beyond our NHS, try and reclaim some of their old lives back. Not one of my constituents with mesh problems believe that they will get their old lives back fully, but a life of less pain and progress towards reclaiming their lives will be a positive outcome for some. This is where the first sentence in the recommendation at paragraph 92 is so important. And I quote, "The committee supports the principles of fairness, equity and parity which, in its view, underpin the bill." If the bill's aims are that, and they clearly are, then the discussion about how women have or will fund mesh removal treatments is redundant in my opinion. Not every person has tens of thousands of pounds in their savings bank, therefore have to raise finance somehow. For some, it will be borrowing from friends or family. For others, it will be bank loan or maxing out a credit card. For others, it will be selling items or organising fundraising nights, bring in extra resources. Another example will be to use a crowdfunding platform. I know that Michelle had many of these examples, but she was struggling to deal with the pain and wanted to reclaim some of her life. At some point in time, just about every MSP as a candidate to get elected to this Parliament will have undertaken a crowdfunder. Why can we do that? But there appears to be a concern that women in pain cannot. It makes absolutely no sense to me. I therefore welcome the recommendation in paragraph 69, but also note the comments attributed to the Cabinet Secretary in paragraph 68. It's clear that there are many unknowns regarding the bill, i.e. how many women will be eligible for the scheme, how many women will pursue the mesh removal treatment, and the actual cost for each woman and the travelling companion. This is where it's extremely challenging for the Cabinet Secretary and the Scottish Government to produce a financial memorandum with absolute financial clarity. This is where the Stage 1 report asking for a reassessment of estimates is perfectly reasonable. The paragraph 87 in the report makes the recommendation about, and I quote, "an appropriate level of scrutiny to take place with regards to future subordinate legislation about the proposed scheme." As the convener of the Delegated Powers and Law Reform Committee, I can see how using the affirmative procedure would be beneficial in this instance, but also accept, as the committee itself did in paragraph 10, and I quote, "the committee has been keen to ensure an appropriate balance between enabling effective scrutiny of the bill while not unduly delaying reimbursement to those affected." This is where I do note the comments from the Cabinet Secretary today, and also in his reply to the committee, that the regulations, if there were regulations, could actually be more time consuming, and thus therefore the administrative scheme it could actually be a lot quicker. The final point I want to address is the self-titled in-betweeners as suggested in paragraph 33 in the report. Also, I note that and welcome the paragraph 35 in the report highlighting, and I quote, "the Cabinet Secretary's intention that anyone who made their own arrangements for treatment outside of the NHS on or before the announcement on the 12th of July 2021 will be able to apply for reimbursement regardless of whether or not that treatment has already been carried out." However, the committee recommendations in paragraphs 39, 40 and 41 are really important, particularly the call in paragraph 40 asking the Scottish Government to, and I quote, "demonstrate appropriate flexibility in the definition of making an arrangement for mesh removal surgery." The clarity surrounding the making an arrangement will, I hope, provide absolute clarity to Michelle and other women. I know that dialogue and communication took place prior to the 12th of July between Michelle and the professor that she had an operation with. But the agreement was signed, the agreement and also the operation actually were signed after the 12th of July. I welcome the statement from the Cabinet Secretary to provide that greater clarity regarding the post-12th of July situation, also when the procurement exercise, which was announced also on the 12th, and also the dates when the contracts are established, in addition to the pathways open to referrals. During also my considerations in this bill are solely for Michelle and other constituents I've spoken to. Nothing will be able to change the experiences they have suffered and had to endure, but with the greater clarity and the passing of this bill, I would hope they can actually have a future that is more positive. We, as a Parliament, owe them that. Thank you.